Hi everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to the Kraftgali channel. Today we are going to do a project using watercolors and this amazing set from Hero Arts. This safari set is just breathtaking. So there's two stamp sets and a die that we will be showcasing. I'll be using elements from both sets. All right, so I said watercoloring, and we are watercoloring with Distress Oxide and Distress inks. And if you don't have all things of all media types in your arsenal, but you do have distress inks, you can use so many different techniques with just these inks. So first what I'm doing is taking some watercolor paper and I put down some wild honey and squeezed lemonade. And so I'm going to mix those colors. As you can see, they blend beautifully, but there's a little bit too much of a blend. So I'm going to add in here some fired brick. And that's going to give me a little bit of that fiery red look. I really adore the way that they've labeled these inks because they really do emulate what they title them. So after each time that I lay down some ink, I'm going to heat set it. So then I'm taking back to some more of the wild honey and I'm going to put that a little bit over the red. So I wanted to I didn't want it to be as stark as that fired brick was, so I kind of muted it just a little bit. And then I can never waste, so I took another watercolor piece of paper and just picked up some of that excess. And I do that later on too with these inks. So here I'm going to take a third watercolor piece and I am going to take one of my bigger water brushes and I'm just going to add some water straight to that little ink daub that I've put down. So I'm using here mustard seed, then candied apple, and then salty ocean. And all you see that I'm doing is very, very simple, is I'm just going to go back and forth in beautifully smooth streaks across my paper. And that's going to give me this really pretty background. Okay, so now I'm taking to the blue. Now I'm okay mixing the red and the yellow because that's going to give me an orange, and the blue and the red because that's going to give me a little bit of a purple. When I keep adding up these layers here because now if you want it to be a little bit darker, heat set it and then put some more color on, but I was really happy with the way this came out. I noticed that I don't run the blue into the yellow too much because I'm not too keen on it being green, so that wasn't my intent there. And then here you see me take that piece of paper again and pick up this ink. I'll do something else with that. I love the way that came out, so that'll be a future project. Okay, so one of these stamp sets that I'm using from Hero Arts has this little grass border here on the bottom. So I took some peeled paint in Distress Oxide, and I'm just going to stamp this right out on the bottom of my card. That gives us a little bit of a definitive line between the sky and my ground. So once I'm happy with that, I'm going to take my beautiful, amazing sun die. Oh, I love this thing. And I'm going to cut out that first piece of paper that I worked on, and I'm going to get my awesome sun. Now this sun is huge, so you'll see, but I love that for this kind of look. I took a brown oxide, I believe this is Vintage Photo, and just covered up the bottom of that so it almost looks like it's sandy. You know, like out in the safari, it's kind of grass pieces here and there, but okay, the biggest tree from the sets that I have here, I'm going to stamp that out and doing a silhouette type of look. So I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I love the way this ink works for watercolor paper, but I still have to stamp it 3 times to get a solid black look. So I love the way that comes out. And then I'm going to add my 2 beautiful little elephants. They're so cute, and I'm going to just use a little gray ink spot that I had in my stash. And I have to do that quite a bit actually. I think I have to, because I think it was running out of ink, so operator error. Okay, I'm getting out my little birds from the set, and I'm going to stamp those as if they're flying in front of the sun and then also on the sky background. So I'm going to get those down. All right, once I get that down, I'm going to cut my panel down just a little bit. I took about 1/8 of an inch off each side. So I guess in total I cut it down 1/4 of an inch. And once I'm happy with that, I'm going to start assembling my card. So I take my Nuvo glue and I'm going to place that right down, and I need to put something heavy on this because this is watercolor cardstock on top of watercolor cardstock. So you need to put something there to really seal those together. But oops, I forgot my sentiment. So we're going back to the Misty. And I am going to put the sentiment on there that says, be strong. And I actually only need to stamp it one time, which surprised me. So I get that stamped out. Now that's finished. Pulling out my score buddy, and I love scoring my cards down. I can never fold, and you shouldn't really fold this 110-pound cardstock because when you do, it just looks funky. So I like to score it first and then fold it. Add in some more Nouveau glue, placing down my card, and that will finish up the card. Placing something heavy on that again so that it adheres nicely. That's the finished card. Thank you so much for joining us over here at the Kraftgali channel. We're having so much fun today. Please go check out the shop. There are amazing deals going on right now, and the shop is just overflowing with amazing new products and fun stuff. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and I will list everything I used below. Let me know if you have any questions at all. And until next time, you can click subscribe up in the left-hand corner and some more videos down there in the right for you to check out. We will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.